this is going to be damn interesting, man. There are so many available combos
Yeah.
for use in this tournament. It is ridiculous how like the twos meta is just all over the place. I love that. You know, we're going to see something different at least every game. Kingarees and Metaloid Monkey, sorry, are two guys who are just absolutely incredible players in ones. I guarantee they can own it in twos. But let's start off here with Pat Mac and High Tech Player. Both these guys are also incredible. I've actually had the, if I'm honest, displeasure of playing against them in 2v2s, and they completely smacked me, and I like to think of myself as a good twos player. And then not only did they smack us once in matchmaking, we also we also ended up playing them in custom games after, and they actually just gave us the dick once again. They actually went random all and then completely destroyed us.
Pat, right away, we've got some choppers pulling out from King of Reason. It looks like maybe we'll opt for a double chopper play. I don't know if they'll actually go for the engineer play or if they might opt into shrapnel rounds. It just depends. I feel like if you're going up against a infantry player, I assume that's what Cansano's going, then you want to get those shrapnel rounds. It's a really good play against infantry. Yeah,
for certain. That's something they definitely need to do. Because Pat Mac and High Tech right here are definitely just masters of the early game infantry as well. Because we got immediately choppers coming out here for High Tech already. And Pat Mac likes to do this crazy play where he'll get too many base expos, and then what he'll do is pump as many units out as possible. Triple pumping, grenades, it's just absolute hell, and there's not much you can do. He was running Cutter the last time I saw him play, and of course getting that raid for Cutter Marines makes him run 3 times as fast, it seems like. So I'm not sure why he did end up switching to Cansano, but I'm sure we're going to see why fairly certain here. And of course, Redline is most certainly an opportunity to be used with these infantry units, but I don't think it'll make them better than, say, Raid early game. Oh, good ram there. Oh, but he fakes the ram out, doesn't get anything there.
Pat, what units are they building up there? Are they stacking on one side or?
Yep, well, they're going just Marines and Choppers. They're going to the right side towards High Tech's base. He's the light blue player. I think they're just going to opt to start taking some power nodes here in a second. I'm just seeing lots of Choppers and Marines. That's it.
Yeah, we're on my side. It looks like a bunch of choppers are being pulled out, and it's kind of a slow start on this side. You would expect with those choppers, you want to make your presence on the map known much quicker. Push onto the enemy side of the map with those choppers. Start pushing them back immediately so they can't pick up these power nodes. It looks like they're not really trying to attack anything right now, though. They're just trying to pick up the power nodes on their side and keep it safe.
Yeah, it looks like Pat Mac's doing exactly what I was suggesting too. Something that he told me is he loves going this double base Marine play. That's what he's been using a lot in 1v1s with Cutter. And actually, we see a barracks coming up on the first mini base, and yeah, right. And I'm interested to see what he does here on the second one. I want to see what he's doing. Is it a flamethrower build? Yep, it's a Hellbringers are coming out, and he does throw down a supply pad on the next mini base. So we're looking at a triple pump Marine, single pump flamethrower build. And using all those units together will definitely be beneficial. And of course, Pat Mac and High Tech are just keeping everything stacked. Like, they're just on top of each other. You can just tell that they've been a seasoned team in 2v2s right now. They get everything together and just moving as one single unit.
And right now, Savior's team has just picked up their 3rd power node on the map, so they have complete control going that way. And they're going to make an engagement. I mean, they're very split up across the map right now. Yellow's pushing up onto dark blue. And then we've got Savior on the outside of the map looking to attack one of the power nodes or pick it up. I don't know how I feel about that split play.
Yeah, I don't either. I think as long as they keep their units together, High Tech and Pat Mac, they should be able to do a good amount of damage to one chopper army. Of course, shrapnel rounds there is going to help. They are going to start picking up. That's one thing to definitely note, is if they know where the enemy army is of Pat Mac, then what they can do is they can actually cut off all rallying units, all the parading units. They can just pick them off one by one, and that'll definitely bring their army size down to a smaller amount.
Well, here's going to be the engagement right down the center. It looks like is where Metaloid and Savior are pushing. They're trying to get back together. They've got to engage this army that's about to push up onto Savior's main base. They don't have any engineers past, so any wrong move, and they're going to lose this game immediately.
Yeah, for certain. I think they're ready for it. I see both chopper armies already at Savior's base.
He's got one chopper split, and he's going to pick one off right there.
Oof. Yeah, it was a solid ram there.
Somehow staying alive on that one.
I just don't think there are enough. And of course, there it is right there, just like I'm saying. Look at that. It's an incredible play. They're just going to walk. Of course, Pat Mac's going to roast me for that later, but they are going to walk right down to the middle of the map and just cut off all of the rallying Marines if possible, because if they do that, they will put themselves in a massive advantage. Just cutting off all those extra units is very crucial. Of course, as you're going to see, Nick, just as you're seeing lots of these units here, just making sure they're all getting pinched. It doesn't matter. Shrapnel rounds are just going to make a quick work of them as they start trying to rally over. But of course, with a couple grenades getting off from those, he could lose a lot of those choppers as well. Looks like they're already getting one shot. The micro is incredible. All King of Reason has to do is just keep all of his units alive in the back of his base, get a shield up, and then he's good. They've
got to pop that engineer shield, though. They're taking way too much damage on that. I know they have one available. They have too many not to have one available. And it looks like they're taking complete control of this pet. You're looking at most of the army right there. They're going to try to get that turret up. The base isn't going to start being upgraded yet, so there's no chance of a shield generator popping up. We could be looking at a very dominating start.
But look at all the units. All the choppers just died there for King of Reason, man. There are 3 there that are one shot, even with the shrapnel rounds. It looks like also, it looks like High Tech did opt for getting shrapnel rounds as well just to compete. Yep, and that's actually incredibly important for both these guys.
Metaloid Monkey's he's trying to cut off those Marines still. He's doing a fantastic job with that, but eventually you've got to push back and help out Reason because he has lost everything in the situation. Now, he did opt to pick up a secondary base, and that secondary base has got a raid camp on it. He hasn't started producing any units out of it yet, but that'll probably happen soon. Let's double check the production tab and see what his economy looks like. It's got about 500, 1,500. He's got 1,500 power right now. So, unfortunately, there's your base upgrade.
But that was such a good job. I didn't even see what was happening. I was sitting there just scratching my head. What the hell just happened? Great Rams there coming out of Metaloid there, and then King of Reason drops the Suicide Grunt drop. So many units just fell there for Pat Mac. A lot of Marines did die.
Now that shield generator's about to come back up on that back right there. They got to make a push for it.
Too. And when Hunters are coming out now as well, just the stall play
and they both
these
have
guys is just so good.
This engagement's going to be over. Now take out that extractor before you leave. You need to do a little bit more damage to them.
Yeah, he's gonna try to, but it's just not enough, man. Look at that! All the engineers have to retreat. There's nothing left. Oh my God! Pat Mac did officially get stopped. That ram into Suicide Grunt drop play was just so good there for King of Reason. It's almost like he just always knows exactly what to do to put himself a little bit ahead. I love that. That is exactly what you need to do: is pull something just completely out of a hat, completely out of your ass, and just pull yourself ahead of the game. Such a good move there. And of course, we're still seeing a lot of Marines here at a Pat Mac. I'm seeing a couple Cyclops. Looks like they're getting mixed in as well. Let's see. He's got one barrack still pumping.
The Marines wouldn't be a bad play right now because right now we've got Metaloid who has opted for a lot of Hunters, and even Reason's opted for Hunters.
Yeah, and look at this. They're actually trying to scatter out just to see the expos because that's the most scary thing now, right? Is say they have officially lost their push. Not only do they have a sizable army, but they have the opportunity to buy 7 bases and just take over the entire map. So I think they're aware of that, and they're starting to get scared.
A lot of Hunters, and I don't know if I agree with that. We've got, it looks like Locust is welcoming from Metaloid's base, but I feel like this army composition is not going to be enough to defend off against the Marine play. And here comes some Wolverines as well. Unfortunately for them, they need to scout that because they are not going Banshees on the other side as of yet.
Yeah, just such great plays out of Metaloid. King of Reason too. Yeah, I think it's just all just going to come down to say, like, whose army composition is going to win in this first big fight, right? And if they can actually pressure those expansions and take out those expansions, then they're in such a massive lead at that point. I mean, even with Atriox, even though he has the opportunity to buy all those bases, he's still vulnerable for like a quick couple minutes at a time. Whenever that happens,
they've got to push though pretty quickly, Pat.
Yeah, they have to move right now. That's exactly what they're doing too.
They have 6 total bases on this side. Gotta move.
That's
you can't let them get comfortable. You can't let them get the chill gens on it.
Yeah, and luckily as well, there actually aren't nearly
push right in the center.
Yeah, there are nearly no. Yeah, look at that teleport out there. The vortex is actually just going to be wasted there. He's going to have to cancel it just because of the teleport there from King of Reason.
Now they've got to continue
big army here. Yeah, they are going to get a
they've got to keep pushing up because they've each upgraded their base. Reason's going to try to get a shield gen on all of his bases, I'd imagine, pretty soon here. But there's still a window of opportunity to pick off these bases. They've just got to do it quickly. They get a quick scout, and yeah, they're going to go ahead and go for the engagement. So Reason's probably going to lose that base right there. And Metaloid might pick up the base on your side of the map, Pat, which would be a pretty interesting play.
Yeah,
especially if it goes unspotted.
Yeah, because that's definitely what King of Reason's known for. It's just being an absolute sneaky bastard, just buying every single base on the map that he can. I mean, look at the sizable army they have here. 2 armies from both Pat Mac and High Tech, and it's still taking forever to drop a base. So, of course, if they try to do the base trade rush kind of thing, they definitely are not going to be in a great spot. I see a couple yellow units there from Metaloid, Nick. They are trying to take down mini base there from Pat Mac, which is solid. That's a good idea. But, of course, actually, the big army here might be thinking about walking right up the front door to King of Reason's base. I don't know if I do that. Oh, you think so?
No,
right
now? They got to make it known right now.
Okay, here it goes. They're going to have to deal with all these Rangers in the shield, too. Yep, that's actually pretty solid play there from Metaloid. They're ready for this push right now. They got to get out of here, man. They definitely cannot do this. They cannot engage this. Oh, the Siphon does go down as well.
Yep, the Siphon's down.
So many infantry units coming out. Looks like he's double pumping the Rangers.
Okay, they're back together.
Yep, that's just, I don't know, man. The shield is not even half. Shield's not even half. They have to get out of here right now. This is a very risky play. You need to take out all the expansions for these players first.
Those shields.
Yeah, they are going to back up, and of course, all that's going to happen now is these Rangers are just going to chase down these units here and do a good number to them. Of course, look at that. Such a good army composition, too.
Metaloid's not building anything on one of his bases right now. It's just, I don't know if it's a macro issue or if it's a money issue. He's got plenty of money, he's just not building on it. And there he goes. He's finally out to 3 things on it. A little slow on that. Now, right now, Pat, if you are High Tech and Pat, what do you have to do?
You have to take out Expos. You have to find the other expansions. You want to get these guys down to 1 base each. They can sit their army inside of a shield, but they can't micro their army or macro their army across the map fast enough to deal with anything else. So if you go on the opposite side of the map, they're going to have to walk their army. And if you catch them off guard, then you're going to win. Because your leader powers are just a bit more aggressive. All those Rangers, man, an upgraded Vortex, that'll kill every single one. As long as the micro isn't there for King of Reasons. So that's all they have to do is just constantly keep that pressure on. Oh my god, wow, man, these 2 choppers in the back almost took out Pat Mac's little mini base here. He's got 3 Cyclops, too, so that's a pretty good save. But of course, there's the big army there. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Watch this Vortex. It'll kill so many of these infantry units there. Oh, but of course, there it is. The King of Reason Bulwark in Dying Breath will save a lot of those units. Actually, didn't even Dying Breath there. So
but they're getting picked off one by one. There's Dying Breath. They need to go back and pick up that secondary, or that expansion, pick it off.
Yeah,
and it looks like they're going to opt to do so.
And this is what I was talking about. I don't know about walking up to that front door. It's just not a situation you want to be in.
Are they opting to go for the height advantage?
Go! I think they're definitely toying with the idea. They're going to push the Rangers up first and put them in.
There it is.
Oh, and now they're going to bring everything else. I think they're just trying to figure out what the hell to do.
Like they could be organizing their army in a certain way, which is fine.
Yeah, for certain. And as long as they keep Metaloid definitely making a lot of locusts, he could be going for like a sneaky base trade play. Oh, and there's the big whoop there. So many suicide grunts there are going to do a good amount of number of damage there. But
that's pretty much all of King of Reason's army, though.
Yeah, Metaloid's just going to sit here and just kind of just rain hell from a distance. Shield Gen is now officially dropping there. Metaloid's base also. So he's going to have a 4-shield base here in a second. Yeah, look at that. They're going to have to back up again. The teleport there is just too good there. That was an awesome play there. Just dropping in a couple suicide grunts did kill a lot of Pat Mac's army. Yeah, look at that. I see suicide grunts just coming across the map now as well.
Now, Pat, this is the issue I have with going UNSC. Right now in the current meta, you can stack shields. And right now, you can imagine almost every base is going to have double to quad shields. If you're UNSC, what do you have that can take down a base quickly? Obviously, the Banish have Locusts and Banshees that do great amounts of damage to the base, but I don't know what you have for UNSC. Do you go Flames if you're Cansano, maybe Flame Hogs?
I don't know, potentially. I mean, it's just so easy for them to make to just start producing hunters. You know, it's just like they don't even have to worry about it. They're like, okay, yeah, I'll just do whatever I want. And if that's the case, you know, they're running four or 5 raid camps at a time. Like, there's just not really necessarily something that the UNSC can do too late in the game, especially if you're not Cutter. If you're running Cutter, you have, say, close air support. You can drop in the giant ODST support group. You can do a little bit of everything, right? And you'll have tanks and anything, so if you lose your army, you can get something back. But Cansano just doesn't have that. Inferno's great, man, but if all the units are inside of a shield, there's no use. It's not going to do anything. So that's what their biggest problem right now is they need at least a couple locusts, I think, in the army at the same time. And then just to maybe potentially try some different things. I'm afraid to see a Condor come out. I bet you one wouldn't, just because well, it might come out if the army composition just lists itself, but I just doubt anything like that would happen.
And the base they're about to push right now has triple shield on it. They're probably not going to be able to take it out in time. Right now, actually, Metaloid Monkey is pushing onto the other side of the map with full pop Locust, Pat.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was afraid of. That was my number one fear.
That's exactly what's happening. So they're going to use these bases as just bait right now. And Reason's doing a fantastic job. He's going a bunch of suicide runs to counter those Marines and to counter just the ground units. And it looks like Blue's going to lose most of his units, if not all. And then here comes Yellow pushing in. Well, actually, it's a great play on
the Bulwark, too.
Bulwark. It looked like there was a great play in taking out quite a few of them, but the Bulwark's going to save it.
Yeah,
and Pat Mac's going to lose one of his bases. How many expansions does he have, Pat?
He actually has 3 total.
There's an Inferno.
This map is... Oh, that could do a good number on a lot of those locusts. He is going to see that. Teleport out if you have teleport. Oh god, please no, you're going to lose a lot there. Every single one of Metaloid's units is going to die, but at the trade of a base, I'd say that's probably worth it, honestly. I think.
Yeah, they have quad shields again. He's already repumping. All of his locusts that are being made right now are sitting inside of a shield. They have no damage is going to be done to them. They're fine. It's a good base trade.
He's taking a page out of the pre-colony meta, say where you just go.
Yeah.
You just use your Atriox, teleport if you need to for Locust, go behind people's base. Actually, we're seeing Decimus roll out here as well for high tech. Not too shabby. We're seeing a giant man in a giant Spartan suit walk around. It's definitely going to do little to no damage at all. But of course, as soon as you start seeing the hero leaders come out, you know, you're seeing some pro players. You're going to start incorporating those in their armies.
I like the army composition by Reason. It's one that I think is unorthodox. It's a bunch of Rangers, a few Hunters in that mix, and then some Suicide Grunts as well, Pat. And the Suicide Grunts, they're extremely quick. You're not going to be able to attack them if they start running towards you. They'll most likely blow you up in time. Oh, we've got some tanks coming out. I like that.
Yeah, tanks are going to be helpful, especially if they actually push Metaloid instead of King of Reason. They're probably going to do a good amount of damage. Now, of course, on this map as well, with these 2 expansions on the far right and left side, Nick, they're a great spot to hang out. So a lot of the opportunity from Atriox is definitely there to just kind of buy those bases and just hang out. Don't be too scared. A lot of the times those are just so far away from the choke points and the travel paths of units, so they go unspotted, they go safely constructed, that you can upgrade them, and they're just an overall great play. Oh, massive push out there.
I think we're seeing a nice engagement on this side of the map. Bunch of Rangers taking fire at that hero.
Trying to kill the Decimus. Of course, yep, there comes, we're seeing a good mixture. Man, so many Locusts out of them. I don't know about the Ranger play, though. Yep, there goes the Decimus drop there, trying to do
I don't like Glassing Beam either, Pat, because it's one that takes your ability to micro away. And it really doesn't do too much damage. I prefer not to opt for it.
Yeah, it makes sense to me,
just got a good spot on that base. Yeah, and Yellow and Red are making a fine push right now. I'm not quite sure how they're going to hold this off, but here's the engagement, Pat. It's going to start with a nice stun.
Oh, no, that Vortex is great.
There's the Bulwark.
Yep, the Bulwark and
with a few Reavers
Dying Breath
well.
is going to keep all those units alive also. So he's doing a great job here just applying that pressure.
And it looks like Reason's going to lose all of his units probably in this engagement. They're at least all one-shot.
Probably. We're seeing a lot of Reavers come out. That will help. I think they might lose all their units here. If I'm honest, Metaloid is going to need to retreat also if he wants to keep his army alive. Of course, just skirting away, he will be able to rinse a tank. Also kill a lot of those Banshees. But Reavers are just not the #1 choice to deal with Banshees, I'd say. But, of course, that's all the Banshees
more so Wolverines, yeah.
Yeah, for certain. Seeing a lot of Banshees once again. Looks like we're getting nearly full pop Banshees and Engineers at a high tech. So that's not too bad. He'll be able to fly around the map and apply the pressure just like he is now, just kind of taking out those power node grabbers. We have an intense game in our hands. I think it's fairly even still at the moment. All they need to do is start taking out those expansions. There you go, King of Reason base right there. One that isn't upgraded. Oh, right as I say that, it gets an upgrade. That's pretty rare to see a base from King of Reason that isn't upgraded immediately.
Now, and I think the actual difference here is the fact that they are able to put Quad Shield on everything, so they can stall. I think Savior's team still has a bit of an advantage here, but they're doing well on holding them back on the bases. And has anyone on your side opted to pick up the very far bases on the outside of the map?
Yeah, we actually have one actually from Pat Mac. So Pat Mac has still been on 2 bases this entire time, which is good. But of course, you mean against a quad base or triple base Atriox player. You're still a little scared. I honestly think that their knowledge of their side of the map is a little frightening. They definitely have not scouted those bases for a while. So, and of course, there we go, Pat Mac actually taking his 3rd base right now. They definitely need to have knowledge and constant vision on all those empty base slots, just in the rare occurrence that, of course, I shouldn't even say rare, the common occurrence that Savior or Metaloid will actually take those expos and just start going crazy on them.
This is a nice engagement right here. If they can pick up the space, because right now, Red and Yellow are going to try to Okay, so red and yellow are going to push to the center of the map, and then yellow's Reavers are going to push back towards the Banshees. If the Banshees can pick off these Reavers right here, Pat, then it's... Well, then, I mean, I guess at that point, blue's got the advantage, all the advantage in the world. If you can get a good stun here with the Vortex on those Reavers, that would be a fantastic play. And then you see the shields drop, Pat, so this could be a fantastic play if they were able to knock this base out. And there's one
there's
of the
bulwark. Yep, just going to start saving them up. Of course, they're getting really upgraded at this point. All they have to do is keep it alive enough for shield gen to come up. Here comes the shield right now.
Wow, and a shield drops, the fourth shield.
So, there's one thing to note, guys, especially I want to talk about King of Reason real quick. Excellent player overall. Taking advantage of the shield gen setup. So what he does is he always goes on a save as his most vulnerable basis. He goes 3 shield gens and saves 1 empty turret slot. Because what he does is the second he sees an engagement come over, he knows the Banshees are just going to try to melt his base. He throws down a 4th generator, so by the time the shield drops, the shield gen comes up at an ideal time, saves his base after the bulwark, and then he has a 4 times strength shield sitting on his base. So it's like basically the overall clutch play. So that's one thing you guys can always do, is always have one turret slot open, throw down a shield gen the second you see an engagement, save your base if you're playing as Atriox, and then you'll see a quad shield come up on your enemy as they're attacking.
They've opted for a lot of tanks, a lot of wolves and nightingales. This could be a fantastic play if they take out these Reavers and allow those Banshees to take control of the game. And here's the engagement.
On the Hunters,
just
right onto the, oh my
god,
god, so many tanks, man. Actually, there comes the bulwark once again. And Dying Breath at the same time. I'm assuming also they're going to do a good amount of damage here. Oh, Siphon coming out. This is a huge engagement, man. Whoever wins this is most certainly going to win the game. Looks like PatMac is opting for the retreat, but of course the Banshees are still going to stay. They need to skirt away from those Hunters. They are doing too much damage. Atriox chosen. Oh, but there comes the
Eradication beam. Get out of there before that pops.
Yeah,
and only one tank's lost in the engagement.
Yep, and that's not too bad. Of course, actually, we're seeing a couple more units there drop. But of course, that engagement right there is most certainly, without a doubt, in the hands of King of Reason and Metaloid. That engagement, I honestly think, will cause these guys to lose the game. It depends on how fast they can get their units up. Of course, now is the perfect opportunity to get the push going once again. Banshees are flying around the map, just looking for King of Reason's expos, because they know for sure that they will find him if they start looking. Nick, what are they doing right now after winning that engagement?
They're going to stack on King of Reason's 3rd expansion and try to defend it until that shield generator gets up, and it will officially go up in just a few seconds. And then it looks like they may make a push, probably try to take out Light Blue's expansion.
Yeah.
And here they go. They're making a push with those Locusts and Reavers. And that's a really good combo. Locusts are very weak to, obviously, a lot of things, but in particular, Banshees. So you've got that Reaver mix in there, and it's a nice complementary play.
Yeah, it's pretty excellent, honestly.
And here's the engagement. They're pushing up.
Are they pushing up? Yeah, it's a perfect opportunity, too. I mean, those tanks still take a long time to build, even with Logistics Level 3. I'd say that now's the perfect time. If they have enough Hunters and get the teleport going down, they still have a 2nd Eradication Beam, and they can basically kill everything. Just this amount of Locusts, man, the sheer number is just so great. You're going to melt the shield and just target the main base, and they'll drop it in a matter of seconds. Hunters coming in to catch all of the Scorpion tanks off guard and just to not deal with that. And, of course, there we go.
And they're able to pin them back. They can't even move, and they're going to lose everything on that engagement. And then now it's up to the Banshees to do the impossible. Take out the Reavers, take out the Locusts, and as you can see, they're just backing up. King of Reason and Metaloid have put together a fantastic army composition, and they're going to be able to hold this off. And then probably even push over to the next expansion.
Yep, and we do have bases being sacrificed there. For PatMac and High Tech, they're going to sacrifice all their units here to the gods.
And game number 1 is in the books.
Unit died. There you go, man. King of Reason, Metaloid Monkey
fantastic
will take
army
game 1.
composition.
I can't wait to see the post-stats tab. So many units definitely died there. PatMac had so many infantry units in the beginning. What really cost him there is just the Metaloid pickup. Metaloid just brought all of his units to the rallying Marines and just cut off all the support. Those Marines are really deadly in the beginning, man, but only if they actually have that rallying support, like I said. So, of course, just Metaloid taking advantage of that, making sure he has nothing left, and just making sure that he stops all the support.
I don't know how... Again, I brought this up yesterday to one of the PC players who's in the top of the leaderboard. I said, I think Atriox is the best play. I don't know if Decimus is in the current situation, given that shield generators are so overpowered at the moment. And the ability to purchase shield generators with Atriox's double fortification at 301 and, like, I think 100 power, and just stacking them all across the map, I don't know what can beat a double Atriox at the moment. You have to beat them in the very beginning of the game. If it gets to the late game, Pat, I just don't understand what can do it. As you saw there, Blue had a fantastic army composition, and they just couldn't. I mean, they even knocked down a shield generator, and then the fourth one came up, and then it's a quad shield. I don't know what can beat that.
I don't know either. You want to walk us through the stats, Ted?
Sure, we'll take a peep. And across the board, it looks like Savior's team absolutely dominates. Yeah, they take pretty much every single stat. Yeah, I'm not noticing anything. Units destroyed. And you'll notice that actually Reason's team dropped a lot of units. Or they destroyed a lot of units. It just wasn't a very even game. Again, it goes that double Aatrox. You got that bulwark, you're able to keep your units alive longer. That's it.
Damn, Metaloid just took over. Look at that, man. 38,000 supply. That's just insane.
Yeah.
It just all comes down to, Metaloid was free to make as many bases as he want, while King of Reason was getting constantly pressured. So, great game.
Yeah, and they didn't actually poke him. They didn't go for Metaloid's bases. They only went for Reasons, which may be a personal thing.
Yeah, for certain. Well, there we go, guys. We're going to be moving right on to game number 2.
Oh, boy. Okay, so Reasons actually opted for Shipmaster. And I think one of the strategies that they'll opt for in this is you super turtle with Aatrox. They have to, so if High Tech and Pat are going to win this game, they have to win it immediately. If they don't, think about it, Pat. You've got Aatrox who can get a bunch of shields on his base as quickly as possible. Anytime that they start attacking that shield gen, Shipmaster displaces units. Lets them get that shield gen right back up. It can turn into a super turtle game with the combination right here very quickly. It's got to be a quick win if you are High Tech and Pat Mac.
Yeah, and I mean, think about that last game as well. Did they need double choppers? No, probably not, honestly. No. I mean, in fact, they were just kind of meat shields, just kind of, I keep saying meat shield, but they're more just kind of like those halting units to slow down that initial push. You just need to catch all those supporting Marines there from Pat Mac, then you're in a great spot. Looks like High Tech player right off the bat. If I can just jump right into what he's doing, I'm seeing chopper play, and of course we're seeing some Marines out of Pat Mac immediately. So we're not seeing anything too crazy. Basic stuff.
And it'll set again, just scattering across the map. It looks like they're going to go for that power, the center power. Try to pick up as many power. I don't know what they're called, power clusters, whatever they are. Try to pick them up as quickly as possible. Again, those gives you a fantastic advantage pushing into the mid to late game.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, I think that's most certainly crucial. If we're taking a look at Pat Mac as well. Yeah. What about Shipmaster? What's Shipmaster doing at the moment?
What color is Shipmaster? That would be the dark red, and Shipmaster is making a bunch of ghosts.
Interesting.
I say a bunch,
that's exactly what I'm thinking.
He's queued up a couple of ghosts. I don't like the ghost play though.
I love the ghost play.
You gotta have
I think ghosts is the way to go. I think with ghosts, I think ghosts can handle the infantry just fine. Ghosts are totally fine against infantry, especially with the shield. They can take hits. If they ram, they can retreat, and they won't lose any HP if they're careful. Of course, against Pat Mac, you really don't want to ram at all, but in necessity, oh my god, I can't even talk. I apologize. My brain's just mush right now from all the craziness. Necessarily speaking, essentially what you can do with those ghosts is the same concept you did with the choppers last game. Just kind of cut off that extra feed of units. Like every single Marine that's walking across the map, just put yourself in a good position. Let the chopper guy hold the defense if possible. Try to get a shield up and just kill all the supporting infantry. Because just as I said, man, the Marines are incredible when they're massive numbers. You have so many grenades at play. You have ODSTs coming in a little bit. You can just kind of stall. But if you only have, say, like 8 or 9 Marines, they slowly lose health. They slowly lose some Marine and DPS. And then there you go. You just pick them off and you just kind of take hold in the game. That's exactly what we saw. And as long as you take off, as long as you take out that initial engagement, man, against these this Aatrox player, he's going to have 4 bases on you in a matter of minutes. So you really have to take advantage of that. You have to win on that first engagement against these guys, or else you're going to be in a really tough spot for the rest of the game.
Now, even with that, with the Marines, right, you say they need to be separated in order for your ghosts to be successful, because if they are together, and especially if King of Reason doesn't opt to upgrade these ghosts, he hasn't done so yet, they are extremely vulnerable. They will absolutely get wrecked by Marine grenades. I don't even care if there's 2 or 3 of them, Pat. So I disagree that ghosts will be able to hold off those Marines, even if they're moving across in 2s. I think they'll still be able to take it unless he gets that shield on it, and he is now opting for the shield. It's about 28 seconds out, so if he loses a couple of these ghosts right here, that'd be a fantastic head start for High Tech and Pat, but they got to do it quickly. Because once that shield's on, then I would agree with you. Too.
Yeah, they just got a good pick on a power node steal there, trying to come out of there from Metaloid. doing a great job once again, just keeping the chopper controlled, getting the scout going on. Wanted to make sure that nothing out of the ordinary is coming on. We see a big push here from both Pat Mac and High Tech. They are going to move out in their giant chopper engineer marine flame death ball. Oh, and the choppers are going to spot him here too.
That push.
Yep, you see, this is exactly what I'm talking about. There go the choppers. They're going to do a little sneak, and they're just going to sit in at the end of the funnel. You know, they're just going to sit there and kill as many units that try to get their way by. All they have to do really is throw some turrets up, make sure the ghosts come in for the defense. Yeah, look at this. Look, the ghosts and the choppers are just sitting here going for the defense. They're like, yo, Metaloid, you might lose your base, but yeah.
Are we seeing the new... I mean, are we seeing the end of the Marine Rush? Because it's a fantastic play. If you're able to cut them off in the center, then there's nothing to do. Remember, Marines were so powerful because they were overwhelming you, but if you cut them off and there's no overwhelming, they're not strong units. As you see right here, they're going to start getting picked off one by one.
Ooh, that's a great vortex there on those ghosts. He will get a lot of them one shot. Because as soon as the shields fall, man, they are nothing.
A fantastic amount of damage. And again, this goes back to the ghost play. I just don't like it. They're super weak units, but they're not going to be able to engage this base.
No, they're going to have to back up right now. And just was just talking to Akon's sidekick in the chat earlier, as we are live streaming this, guys. Akon's did quickly mention that, say, if they aren't able to win that first engagement, they should just make sure they take over the power node control. Because if you take over the power node control and then drop ODSTs in the back of a base, you know, put the mines down on the generators, then you're going to take a surging lead. It doesn't matter who you're playing against, Atriox, Shipmaster, whatever. Just cut their power supply in half, and even more so, and then just, you know, start taking that foothold on the game. So you're actually just going to opt to move over to King Reason's base.
On the Reason's base.
Yeah, another thing I want to mention too, I don't know if pushing the Atriox player was the best overall play, because look, Shield Gen just came up too. Like, honestly, just seeing all those ghosts, you should have just opted for that quick push onto Shipmaster. There were no turrets, there wasn't any deal at all. I think they just chose wrong here, and it might really cost them here if they just keep trying to skirt around. I don't know why you're still here, guys. Just back up.
And Savior's popping out a few hunters now in the mix. The choppers have just shown up. They're getting a good rinse. I mean, we're seeing a very similar situation as last game, Pat, right? I mean, you have Pat Mac and High Tech come out very strong, very aggressive. They start to lose control, and then the game just falls into the Banished side, and that's really where the Banished thrive, is that late game. You don't want to be there, especially against a Shipmaster who's going to displace all of your units over and over again.
Yeah, and this is pretty undoubtedly in the favor of King of Reason Metaloid at the moment, because Metaloid's just been making whatever he wanted this entire time. King of Reason pretty much single-handedly defended his main base. Did lose every single ghost in that one vortex, but that doesn't matter. Honestly, it didn't matter at all, because that wasn't the goal. The goal is just to stall the units. I'm a little disappointed once again. I just wish they wouldn't have pushed that Atriox. Like, I think I'd say after seeing all those ghosts in the middle of the map, you just want to push the Shipmaster immediately. Because there's no way in hell he's got turrets. There's no way in hell he's got defense at all. They push that. You know,
and even if you 1v1 him, those ghosts are so weak. You're just going to take him out super quick. And yeah, I honestly think that this game has heavily shifted in the favor of Savior's team, just based on the, you know, again, it goes back to the shield thing, right? They both picked up expansions. Has High Tech and Pat picked up their expansions yet?
Actually, yes, we do have both of them with expansions at the moment, so they are both double-based. Pat Mac's expansion is just now coming up, as well as High Tech. They're doing it at the same time, but of course...
We saw how that affected C-Mitch and Uphill in the previous game as well, though.
Taking two expos at the same time is always risky. You never know, because your production is definitely halted significantly. Yeah, and, you know, it's just, I don't know, pretty scary. Good trap there on that chopper, though. That's pretty good.
Now, if you're Pat Mac and High Tech, what do you have to do to get out of this? Again, I feel like we're falling in that same situation. I asked genuinely. I just don't know what you would do when you're reversing a double banish this late into the game.
Well, what you really have to do is firstly scout, see what's going on, make sure nothing weird's happening. Of course, you saw a couple hunters there. Those hunters that he made were just for defensive purposes. I'd be very surprised if he continued that pump. Yeah, see right now, this is exactly like, look, it's almost like King of Reason's like stream peeking right now, or stream peeking, sorry. What he's doing is sending ghosts over, trying to get the double scout. Of course, both of them are caught off guard, so he's not able to see.
It's a good pickoff.
But that's exactly what you want. You need to scout. You need to see what they're doing right now. The giant engagement right at the beginning is over. You know, it's over. As soon as it's over, you need to start scouting around, see what they're going to do next. Because right now, High Tech and Pat Mac are just playing in the dark. They have a good amount of units. They got anti-infantry, they got choppers still, they got engineers, they got Marines like crazy, but at the same time, man, you know, they just got to opt into something that'll give them that quick advantage, because they're not going to win just sitting back here on this side.
And if they scouted right now, Pat, what they would see is that Reason has a non-upgraded base right now. It's about 30 seconds away from being upgraded. You got to take that out. And also, if they scouted Metaloid's base, he's got 1 shield gen and 3 turrets. That is an extremely weak base compared to the one that they have up front, because Metaloid has a base up front with 2 shield generators on it and a sensory tower. They're going to use that as a distraction base. But again, if High-Tech and Pat get the scout out, they can see that the main base is weak for Metaloid, attack it. Or they see that King Reason's secondary base is super weak, they must attack it and skip over this first one that's a decoy.
Yeah, it's what it's all about. And we actually have a big push here from Pat Mac and High-Tech as well. They're actually going to be taking power nodes at the same time. They're going to walk right up the door to this expansion here. You're going to see that no one has it. Actually, High-Tech is going to take the Expo at the same time. They did scout the space on their side, which makes me very happy. But of course, here we are once again. The crazy Locust Reaver combo from Metaloid is going to be extremely intimidating because they've had the opportunity to do that this entire game.
And keeping the Huntress alive is going to be crucial if you're Savior. I think he knows that. He just backed them up towards the shield. It's going to be real difficult to figure out how they're going to take the shield down. Okay, they've stunned the Hunters and they've kept them from getting inside that shield. That's a fantastic play. They've got to
but there
pick them
comes the
off
Suicide Growths from the side. If he just targets
and
them,
the Rangers
oh my god,
well.
he's going to get a lot of units here. Oh, but of course there's a good micro there, but every single Marine for Pat Mac does die. We got 2 armies against 1 at this point. We got some Wolves coming in as well for the potential support, but there's not really any air units to worry about, including engineers or anything like that. So we're doing a pretty good job here of just once again, they're just rooting themselves down on their side of the map. They're making sure that no one can really take over.
Has the meta pushed it to where rushing isn't that important? Because I feel like, again, if right around that 4-minute mark, if you're double Aatrox, you've got your base upgraded, you've got shields on it, and then you can literally just turtle. I feel like this game has turned into a turtle game rather than that high, fast-paced Jackrabbit play that we saw in Season 1 and 2. I think a lot of things have changed, and do you think this is a turtle game now? The idea is to just stay alive until you get those shield gens up and then stack?
I think that this game is kind of up to the point right now where you can really do whatever you want. Some rushes have been extremely successful, but you also have to know, Nick, these guys at the same time, they've committed to their rushes both games completely. They haven't backed up and taken map control. I bet you it's just because they haven't seen many players kind of take down their rush. Because once it's not even really a rush, it's just like an all-in opener where they just kind of bring everything together and they just push at around, say, 4 or 5 minutes. But exactly that, they're just not, they just didn't pull back. They didn't get the map control. They just continued to push against 2 of the best players in the world, and they just lose everything. So I really think that you still could have been successful with your build that you tried here for both of these players, but we aren't going to know for certain because they just didn't do the most ideal option.
And Metaloid's opted to pick up that 3rd base as well. I'd imagine Savior is going to do the same fairly soon here. And they're going with a very similar army composition, Pat. Is this the best army composition that you can possibly go? Does this counter everything? They've got Locusts in the mix, they've got Reavers, they've got Hunters and Rangers. It's like a bunch of counter units with building killers in the mix.
Yeah, it's just the range. The range from the Hunters and I'm sorry, not the Hunters. The Locusts and the Reavers is just so crazy good that you can just fight from a mile away. So at the same time, like even though Locusts have been nerfed a million times, people still complain about him, call him OP and all that. He's just Metaloid's just using them properly in the instance that he keeps them at a distance and then melts bases when he has teleport, or does like a sneaky play or anything like that. He just tries to make the best out of them. And, that's just so ideal. And I think against a UNSC Banish combo, I think the mixture that they have right there, Nick, the Rangers, the Hunters, the Reavers, the Locusts, I think that's probably the best ideal combo as long as they keep everything together to deal with all these Cyclops, Marines, Wolverines, Rangers, Hunters, and all that.
Now, Pat, where is all of Blue's army?
All of Blue's army, and actually, they're on the far side. I don't know how to describe it necessarily, but say to the left, if you're looking north at the blue end, they're basically keeping everything way on their side. They're turtling essentially too. They know that if they say they overextend, then they're going to lose a lot of units.
That's
of course, engineers here coming
right now, Metaloid and Savior are doing the same thing. They're sitting inside that quad shield gen, or that triple shield gen with that sensor tower.
Oh, there it goes. Extraction.
Teleport in.
Okay,
I don't know if I agree with
for.
that. He's going to lose all of his units on that.
No, that was actually an extraction from the shipmaster. He pulled everything there, brought the engineers over, and they brought everything into his army.
Wow.
So that was an incredible play there from King of Reason. You forgot
And
about the fact that he's running shipmaster, didn't you?
Yeah, it slipped past my mind. That's a fantastic play. And they're going to push up and try to gain map control.
I mean, they can now. They just killed an entire army. They don't even have to care anymore. That's exactly what you need. There it goes. Every single thing, displacement, just kind of warped everything over there.
Yeah, I feel
now they're just doing some serious damage.
Completely passed my mind that we're not playing with, or we're not watching a double Atriox play, and Shipmaster's still showing how viable he is.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, hey, if you can stay in the game to the late game, Atriox will just have your back, and then you can kind of just play the God move and start teleporting units all around, do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Of course, here come the Locusts.
And right now we've got the Locusts pushing up.
So
They've got the Reavers in the mix, and we're probably going to see the end of that base right there.
Oh yeah, look at all the
nice Vortex, going to stun.
Yep, every single one there. At least 5 or 6 of them are going to get weak. Of course, they don't actually die, which is great because the shields are just too strong. I'm sure they have Vehicle 3 already, of course. A lot of these Rangers here are going to get caught off guard from... Yeah, there we go. We're actually, I think we're
right now,
some sacrificing your bases.
Where are the tanks? Where are the...
There's nothing. There are no tanks.
Where did UNSC go that game?
UNSC has mostly Cyclops and Marines. I think they're kind of realizing that they messed up a little bit right there.
Where was he in that entire engagement, though?
He was hiding in the back. I mean, you know, he was like, "What the hell do I do?" His buddy's whole army was teleported right into.
I just feel like that was a 1v2 right there.
Yeah, it's a little ridiculous there. It's I mean, just like I said, when you play as Shipmaster, you can play God. You know, you can say, "I want half of your army to be gone," and then that's it. You know, it's just if not, you can say, "I want your whole army to be on top of my base." So that's exactly that. And when you have King of Reason. The king of playing God, I should say, even, he's just going to take advantage of that every time. I think
we're going to move on to Consolation and Grand Finals then.
Yeah, that's it, man. I think here comes the big engagement here. Pat Mack just sacrificing his whole army and saying, damn it, how the hell did we let this happen? Just a case of overcommitting a little bit too much and losing those units in the beginning.
Alright, that's it. We're going to move on to the Consolation match. And it's going to be between High Tech, Pat Mack, and I believe ESL. And then the grand finals will be King of Reason, Metaloid versus Udpoo and C-Mitch. What 8 grand finals we have ahead of us, Pat.
Absolutely. I'm going to take a look quickly here at the post-game stats tab. We're going to briefly look here. Lots of bases built for everybody. And, of course, there's Metaloid once again with his King economy. Going to just take over the game, just gave him the opportunity to just kind of play as conservative as he wanted to, get as many Locusts and Reavers up as he needed to, and then King of Reason, of course, even though he did lose every single Ghost in that early engagement, Pat Mack and High Tech pushing the Atriox base with all the turrets. The one base that didn't have turrets was King of Reason's. They didn't push that, and they capitalized on every single instance that they could. 59 units destroyed for King of Reason, using the displacement to just pull the entire army of High Tech right into their side and just killing everything in a shield. It's pretty crazy. So incredible plays there from all sides. Moving on to the consolation round.